I created Mark Goldbridge and IShowSpeed on Football Manager. But why have I done this? Recently, Mark Goldbridge took charge of the YouTube All-Stars versus the Sidemen in a charity football match. A YouTube All-Stars team featuring IShowSpeed. He is a YouTuber who has grown to 11 million subscribers in less than 2 years. And if it wasn't for some dodgy goalkeeping, Mark Goldbridge would have led his team to glory. And it was a fantastic event, by the way. But the highlight for me was the bond between Mark Goldbridge and Speed. So we're going to put them both at Manchester United to begin with. Seeing as Goldbridge is the main face of the United Stand, a channel I watch regularly, and Speed being a Ronaldo obsessor. But I'm also going to put Goldbridge in charge of the England team for the future World Cup because I seen a tactical masterclass in that charity match. I've put Goldbridge as United's manager and director of football, so we can see the players he decides to bring in as well as how he leads the side. And I think I gave him some fair attributes from the masterclass that I saw in that charity match, with some tendencies to sign players under the age of 24 and use intense pressing, as well as not signing domestic-based players and using the budget on one player. And that's two things that I've taken from watching the United Stand on a daily basis. And his tactical style is a pressing 4-2-3-1, which is exactly what we saw in that charity match. And Speed, I've tried to make him usable but fair with his real life attributes. He's very quick and athletic, but he did spend 17 minutes in total offside throughout the whole game. And he's slightly aggressive, as shown when he snapped KSI within 20 seconds of the match starting. So I gave him the appropriate player traits too. It's the end of the transfer window and we can see who Mark Goldbridge has brought in so far. Two youngsters in Sashoa from Tenerife for £3.4 million and Omar Agic, the centre-back from Zurich, for 6.7 million. And finally, Ilicic, the Slovenian veteran who is a fantastic free transfer and another striker option. The 4-2-3-1 is being utilised immediately and a very close to expected starting 11. Drop in Harry Maguire, with a starting position for IShowSpeed on that right hand side. And in Speed's 3 performances so far this season, he has 1 goal and 2 man of the matches. That's what I call the Goldbridge effect. A draw against Arsenal to start the campaign at Old Trafford.
It's lucky for Arsenal, but it's probably deserved.
A 3-1 win followed against Everton and a 2-2 draw with Leicester, with Speed and Ronaldo scoring. We move forward to January of the first season and United are in second place, just 2 points off top. And somehow Speed is the top scorer of the club so far with 13 goals, 1 more than Cristiano Ronaldo. Goldbridge has spent another £29 million bringing in Mexican striker Hirving Lozano from Napoli. And his tactical masterclass continues as he picks up recent wins at Anfield and at home in the Manchester derby. And he's on some run as well, only losing 1 game against Brighton since October, and that's with only 1 draw as well, with 15 wins from the last 3 months. Unfortunately though, as we enter February, a win against Liverpool with Ronaldo and Speed scoring once again, this led to a very bleak second half of the season with a fair amount of losses and a lot of draws, including a penalties loss to Dortmund in the Champions League and an FA Cup semi-final loss to Manchester City. And it's seen us drop down into 5th place, unfortunately, 10 points behind champions Manchester City. I don't know what happened, but Speed only scored another 3 goals since January and Ronaldo didn't get that many more either. So before I give Goldbridge the waistcoat of the England job, I want to see what if he can redeem himself for a second season. But that's if United don't sack him, as he is very insecure in his role right now. Luckily though, they gave him another chance and backed him in the transfer window. And after watching Goldbridge for some time now, this is exactly the type of transfer window that I would know he would want. Wan-Bissaka left and went to Arsenal for £11 million, and Alex Telles to Southampton, and Fred left as well. The Dalot transfer is the only downside, but when Bayern come in offering Champions League football, it's hard to keep him. And he brought in Ronald Araujo, a world-class centre-back from Barcelona for £50 million, as well as Davide Fratesi, an all-round midfielder for £60 million. And a couple of youngsters for the future too, a phenomenal window. My only question would be the lack of a decent right-back. But a fantastic start to the league with 4 wins from 4, with Ronaldo scoring 6 and Speed getting 4. On to January, United are in second place once again, 4 points behind City. 3 more signings arrive in January, including one of the best right-backs on the game, Pedro Porro, for £38 million. Mark also brought in Pedrosa at left-back from Espanyol, and that was funded from a £46 million departure of Harry Maguire to Tottenham.
Get out, Harry Maguire! Piss off! Piss off, Harry Maguire! You useless piece of shit!
Still rocking the 4-2-3-1 and speed still featuring in most matches, starting 30 games so far, scoring 15 goals, one behind Ronaldo with 16. And moving forward to the end of the season, this time Goldbridge takes Manchester United second place in the league behind City. However, he did beat City in the EFL Cup final 2-1 with Fatesi scoring the winner. But what can he do as England manager? Let's find out. So with the World Cup just about to start, let's see who Goldbridge has selected. His 23-man squad is kind of what you expect an England team on FM22 to be, in all honesty, but once again, no Harry Maguire, and it does look like Tomori is a starting defender, which I absolutely love. It also looks like he adopted a different approach for England, opting for a 4-3-3 with Rice sitting in the holding midfielder role as opposed to his 4-2-3-1 that he used at Manchester United. Our World Cup group is different to real life, with Australia, Germany and Nigeria joining us in Group B. And things started fantastically for Goldbridge's three Lions as Harry Kane opened the scoring against Australia within 12 minutes from a towering header. Raheem Sterling then found himself in space and chipped the keeper for England's second, and Harry Kane made it 3 from the spot on the 31st minute. Australia pulled one back, but it was too late. And unlike Southgate, Goldbridge isn't afraid to mix things up tactically, reverting back to his 4-2-3-1 and even playing Rice at centre-back, with the confidence of England dominating possession. The other game in the group seen Germany beat Nigeria 3-1. And Nigeria was up next for England, and Grealish played in Smith Rowe into space, who found the net to make it 1-0. Phil Foden then dropped a lovely ball at the back post for Sterling to head home, making it 2, and Harry Kane got another one from the spot. Nigeria did pull one back with a well-worked goal, but once again Phil Foden supplying the goods for Tomori to seal the game 4-1. Germany also winning both games, beating Australia 3-0, and it's Harry Kane and Musiala who top the goal-scoring charts. Elsewhere though, Speed's USA have also qualified, beating Saudi Arabia and Chile in their 2 games so far. Things didn't start great for England against Germany as Weigl put them behind. But Raheem Sterling is becoming a key player under Goldbridge and finds the equaliser. Bellingham's run and eventual pass to Grealish was absolutely sublime and put England into the lead. And it was that man Sterling who topped off the win with a third late on. Ironically, it was Rangnick's Austria who gave Goldbridge the biggest headache of the tournament so far, taking them to penalties where England prevailed to the quarterfinals, where they will meet Belgium. And with an attack down the left-hand side, once again it was Sterling who fired England into the lead. A second goal was an absolute beauty, and it was scored by Jack Grealish. Although Belgium did score early in the second half, they couldn't get another, and England go through to the semi-final of the World Cup. Amazingly, Speed will also be playing in the semi-final for the USA against Germany, as England face Portugal. Actually, Speed was suspended for the semi-final, and Thomas Muller sent them home with a wonderful outside-of-the-foot goal. Goldbridge made some changes, and it was rewarded when Tammy Abraham scored the opener in the first 5 minutes of the match. But playing Portugal, there's a few familiar faces for Mark, and Ronaldo equalised not too long after. Playing a more deeper role though than usual, Harry Kane was able to get on the ball more, and he fired in a furious shot to put England back ahead. And in the second half, Harry Kane once again got on the ball and found Tammy Abraham to send England through to meet Germany in the final. IShowSpeed returned in the third place playoff, where USA won through the only goal in extra time, and Giovanni Reina was the scorer. But this is Mark Goldbridge's moment. And during the final, Harry Kane was playing awful. And Goldbridge did exactly what Southgate doesn't. He made the big change and brought Tammy Abraham on, who scored the only goal and won England the bloody World Cup. Point proven in my eyes, Goldbridge took England to be world champions. So let's get that Pratt Southgate out, and let's get Goldbridge in. Check out this next video where I simulated 100 years of a World Super League pyramid. There's some funny things that happen, and I think you'll enjoy it.